Hi there. Thank you so much for watching this week's video message. Let's talk about word lists. It is perfectly fine to choose words for your word list that match a particular phonics skill or a spelling concept that may challenge your child's vocabulary. It is okay to choose words that you feel like they may not know the meanings of because as part of Orton-Gillingham, this isn't just about phonics. This is also about building language skills so that we can incorporate talking about words with different meanings. So we can talk about perhaps how their usage may be in a sentence. So we're incorporating grammar, syntax, and so forth within that one lesson. So I have a word list here and it looks pretty simple, to be honest. Let me just move myself over a little bit. Okay, so we can see. So this word list comes from one of the decodable readers that I had written called Skate Game. And so before we read Skate Game, I wanted to go over some of the words that would appear in the decodable reader. And this is a review of VCE words, and there were some words also with blends. So, sure, we went through. I had students mark and code them, highlighting the long vowel, marking it long. But as we went further down, notice that some of the words were closed syllables, not VCE. So marking those vowels short. And so this is an important question that you want to ask whenever you present any word list with a student or students. And this is what we say. After we've read through the words, or even during, are there any words on the word list that you aren't sure of the meanings? And that is a really important question because it makes them a little more reflective with looking back and seeing. And you know what? Sometimes they're just going to say, nope. And other times they're going to pull out maybe a word or two that they really aren't sure of the meaning. The next question is if they do happen to say nope, maybe call attention to one or two words that you think they might be challenged by. So for instance, when I look at this word list, sure, it looks pretty simple, but the words that I'm going to pull out are this one right here, swift. Okay. They may point that out to you. They may say swift. Okay. Talk about the meaning of swift. Use it as an example. Okay. Perhaps you have a photo to accompany that. That's really helpful, particularly for kids who are English language learners. Okay. So I would call attention to swift if they hadn't. The next that I would point out and say, you know what? I see two words on here that have really similar meanings, but they're slightly different. So we have some synonyms there. Can we find those? Okay. So we've got, sorry, my directionality when I'm pointing to a screen is a little off. Smile and grin. You'd be surprised how many kids aren't really sure of the difference between grin and smile, or may not even know what the meaning of grin means. So if we grin, smile, right? So you can model the difference between them. The last word that I may call attention to is I'll pull out a word that definitely has multiple meanings. So I will point out the word spin. Don't say, well, we can spin a top or spin a spinner in a game. But what if someone said, hey, let's go for a spin? What can that mean? Or if we said, let's go for a spin around the block. Could that mean going on a bicycle? Sure. Could that mean maybe going on rollerblades? Sure. Could it mean going in a car? Yeah, sometimes when someone says, let's go for a spin, that means let's go for a quick ride, right? So that is how we're calling attention to not only the letter sound correspondences, okay, or the phoneme grapheme representations, but we're also incorporating the meanings behind words, okay, and opening up discussion, because in language we're always trying to pull in the oral discussion and then get them to apply it into, of course, um, not just oral output, but then into written forms as well. So what we may do later is, after we've discussed the meaning of the word swift and we see it in the book, then we'll think of a way to generate a sentence having the child write down a word with swift. Okay. So that is something to really think about, just from one simple word list. Once again, the main point was to call attention. Are there any words on there that you aren't sure of the meanings? And make note of those. No, you want to really talk about those a little more in depth than the other ones. Then, after you ask that question, call attention to maybe a couple that may have either multiple meanings, or one that you may think maybe they know the meaning, or maybe they may not. Okay. This book comes from the seasonal decodable readers bundle. If you're interested in finding it, I will put the link below. But let me know if you have been prompting by asking that question when you do present a word list to your students, and some of the interesting responses that they may come up with. Thank you so much. Be sure you can check out the Literacy Nest Video Vault, or you can find me on YouTube. But thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.